Hello, thank you for your interest in our research project. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Indigenous peoples of all the lands that we are on today. While we meet here on a virtual platform, we should take a moment to recognize the importance of the land on which we are located. I am joining you today from Tiohtià:ke, Montreal, which is situated on the traditional territory of the Kanien'kehá:ka Nation. I recognize, honor, and respect the presence of the Kanien'kehá:ka peoples, past, present, and future. Here at the Caesar Lab, we acknowledge the territory to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in building positive relationships between nations and in developing a deep understanding of Indigenous peoples and their cultures. In this short video, I will provide you more information about our Stress and Resilience Study, or STARS, and present to you our goals and methodology. STARS is a project that looks at stress and resilience in people of diverse sexual and gender identities. Many scientific studies have demonstrated that the exposition to chronic stress can have a negative impact on physical and mental health. This can be measured by an index called allostatic load, which includes hormonal, immune, metabolic, and cardiovascular health. Of particular interest to our team are the lived experiences of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, asexual, two-spirit, and other subgroups of the LGBTQ+ umbrella. The LGBTQ+ community are often highly vulnerable to stress-related diseases because of stigma exposure. Previous research conducted by our team found that allostatic load varies significantly within LGBTQ+ communities compared to the general heterosexual population, which points to distinct risk and resilience profiles. The objective of the research project that we would like you to participate in is to identify key mechanisms whereby risk and resilience factors influence the physical health and mental well-being of LGBTQ+ people of different ages and backgrounds. To do so, we will study the associations between stigma and allostatic load, explore the lived experiences of stigma and resilience, and examine resilience factors like social support as buffers of the associations between stigma, the allostatic load, and mental health among LGBTQ+ adults. We are recruiting 580 individuals, including 50 heterosexual cisgender women, 50 heterosexual cisgender men, and 480 LGBTQ+ individuals 18 years and older. If you would like to participate in our study, we ask that you fill out the following questionnaire to determine your eligibility. You have to be 18 years or older, living in the Greater Montreal area, and to have a gender and sexual orientation that we are currently recruiting to meet the quota of participants for each subgroup. It should take you about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. Please be assured that all the information collected will remain confidential in accordance with ethical guidelines and the law. The study itself will take about 220 minutes to complete, and you will be compensated an amount of $100 for your participation. It involves 2 visits to our laboratory, the Caesar Lab, which is situated in the Montreal Mental Health Institute, or Institut Universitaire en Santé Mentale de Montréal, at 7331 Hochelaga Street in Montreal. For the first visit, which will take place in the afternoon, you will be exposed to a validated psychosocial stressor during which we will take repeated measures of saliva and cardiovascular parameters. Before and after this test, you will complete a short memory task. You will then fill out a questionnaire, and at the end of this visit, you will be given instructions for take-home saliva sampling that will be used to assess day-to-day cortisol over 2 days. Additionally, you will be presented with the option of participating in another part of our study, the collection of a stool sample for gut microbiota analysis. If you opt in for this optional sampling, we will provide you with the necessary instructions and tools to do so. You will receive an additional $20 for your participation in this sub-study. A week later, you will be invited to come back to our laboratory for a second visit, which will take place in the morning. You will bring back these saliva samples at this time, as well as the stool sample for those of you who will have agreed to the collection. During the second visit, a nurse will take blood samples and record health information. We will then provide you with a breakfast mindful of the dietary restrictions that you will have stated in this questionnaire. Following this, you will fill out one last series of questionnaires. You will be presented with the option of participating in another part of our study, an hour-long interview. If this optional research component interests you and if you are eligible, you will be asked questions on stress, stigma, and resilience, and to elaborate on your lived experience. You will receive an additional $20 for your participation in this sub-study, focusing on intersectionality. At the end of this second visit, we will debrief you on the nature of all the methods and tests that you will have partaken in and give you the rest of your compensation depending on your participation in the optional parts of our study. The results obtained from this study will contribute to the advancement of scientific knowledge in the area of mental health, stress, and resilience amongst the LGBTQ+ communities. Our goal is to better understand how stigma, stress, and strain can get under the skin and skull, as well as to identify the positive factors that can be harnessed to promote health and well-being. We hope that this gives you a better sense of our research project, our goals, and our methods. If you have any questions, please contact the researcher in charge, Dr. Robert Paul Juster, by email at robert-paul.juster@umontreal.ca or by call at 514-251-4000 extension 3415. Finally, we would like to thank the Canadian Institutes of Health Research, CIHR, for funding this research project and to you for your potential interest to contribute to science.